Semiotics and the language of cinema. In this critical module, we explore semiotics, the study of signs and symbols, and how it applies to the cinematic medium. This theoretical framework helps us understand how films function as systems of meaning, similar to how language operates in spoken or written form. Drawing from the works of linguists like Ferdinand de Saussure and Charles Sanders Peirce, as well as film theorists such as Christian Metz, Umberto Eco, and Roland Barthes, this module delves into the building blocks of cinematic language signs, codes, and syntactic structures, and how they are used to communicate complex layers of narrative, emotion, ideology, and identity. You will gain tools for analyzing visual and auditory signification in film, explore the concepts of denotation, connotation, myth, iconicity, indexicality, and symbolism, and learn how these are mobilized in visual storytelling. Through examples, both classical and contemporary, you will learn how filmmakers construct meaning and how viewers interpret or misinterpret that meaning. The module also engages with metasemantics, cinematic tropes, genre codes, and how semiotics intersects with ideology and cultural discourse. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, you will be able to define semiotics and identify its relevance to cinematic language, differentiate between Saussurean and Peircean models of sign theory, analyze how visual signs operate at denotative and connotative levels, recognize codes, conventions, and narrative structures as semiotic systems, apply semiotic analysis to scenes, characters, mise-en-scène, and genre films. Examine how ideological meanings and cultural myths are reinforced through filmic signs. Identify and critique dominant visual tropes in mainstream and independent cinema. Section 1. What is semiotics? Semiotics is the study of signs, how they function, how they convey meaning, and how they are interpreted. In cinema, this refers to how visual and auditory elements function like a language to communicate meaning. Unlike spoken language, film relies on a rich interplay of image, sound, movement, and editing, which together construct what is often called cinematic language. Ferdinand de Saussure's structuralist model, sign equals signifier form, plus signified concept. Language is a system of differences. A word or sign only has meaning in relation to others. Meaning is arbitrary and constructed within a cultural system. Charles Sanders. Peirce's triadic model, icon, a sign that resembles the object, e.g., a portrait, a photograph. Index, a sign directly connected to the object, e.g., smoke equals fire. Symbol, a sign based on cultural convention, e.g., a red rose equals love. Both models help us understand how visual media creates multiple levels of meaning. Section 2. Denotation, connotation, and myth in cinema. Denotation refers to the literal, surface-level meaning. Example: a shot of a policeman denotes a law enforcement officer. Connotation involves cultural or emotional associations. That same shot may connote authority, oppression, or protection, depending on context, lighting, angle, costume, or audience perception. Myth, Roland Barthes. Films don't just tell stories, they reproduce societal ideologies, e.g., heroism, masculinity, romance, capitalism, that become naturalized. Film example: in The Godfather, the iconography of the mafia connotes power, family, masculinity, and morality, contributing to a mythic structure that glorifies organized crime through its romantic aesthetic. Section 3. Codes and conventions. Cinematic codes are systems of meaning-making that operate in patterns. Technical codes, camera angles, lighting, sound, editing. Symbolic codes, props, color, costume, facial expressions, posture. Narrative codes, plot structure, genre conventions, archetypes. Example: horror film codes, low-key lighting, handheld camera, eerie sound, anticipation, fear, screaming women, haunted houses, sudden cuts, genre cues. Audiences, through repetition, learn to associate these signs with expected meanings. Section 4. Mise en scène as a semiotic field. Mise en scène refers to everything within the frame: set design, lighting, costume, spatial relationships, and performance. It is a semiotic playground where every detail can carry symbolic or narrative meaning. Example: in The Truman Show, the uniform lighting and pastel palette of Sea Haven Island signal artificial perfection. Its semiotic code mimics advertisements or 1950s suburbia, underscoring the theme of simulation and control. Section 5. Ideology, power, and visual tropes. Film signs don't exist in a vacuum. They are often tied to ideological systems that reproduce dominant cultural narratives on gender, race, class, nationalism, etc. The white savior trope, a recurring narrative that positions a white protagonist as the hero in non-white settings, e.g., The Last Samurai, The Blind Side. The male gaze, Laura Mulvey. Women are positioned as objects of visual pleasure, reinforcing patriarchal power structures. Understanding these tropes allows filmmakers and viewers to become critical participants, rather than passive consumers. Section 6. Applying semiotics to visual storytelling. Semiotic analysis allows creators to be intentional about the signs they deploy, and audiences to be analytical about what they consume. Whether you're designing a scene with symbolic color palettes, editing a montage to build tension, or choosing costumes to evoke time-place status, you are speaking in a visual language with semiotic structure. Key takeaways. Semiotics transforms passive viewing into active reading. Signs in film operate through cultural conventions, not just visual cues. Every cinematic element can carry meaning intended or unintended. Filmmakers must be conscious of the ideological frameworks they're reproducing or challenging.